Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 AM. Brought to you proudly by Sportsman's Warehouse and the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray. We roll toward that 19th year on the air here in Memphis, Tennessee on ESPN 790 AM. And all you folks in Brownsville and Jackson and all throughout the Mid-South, we are the fastest 90 minutes in outdoor radio programming, and this being February the 1st.
What happened to January?
January was here and gone. It's gone. Yeah, it's gone. And both of y'all just now realized that, right?
Yeah, I thought it was February.
Well, we got a guy on the phone right now that I told him he needs a night timer and a day timer because I don't know how he's going to complete this season. Much less, he's looking for people who would like to help him on his entry fees too. I know that.
He needs, like everybody else, start a GoFundMe
Make
page.
GoFund for John Cox out of DeBerry, Florida. One of our favorite guys on Outdoors with Larry Ray. Been on the show before. On a roll, a recent victory down in Texas. That's his 5th career victory, if I'm not mistaken. The former FLW champion and. Always good to talk to John. Good morning, John.
Hey, guys. Thanks for having me on. Always
good to have you, buddy. And the first question, somebody said, I got John Cox on the phone this Saturday. And they said, well, ask him, is there one or two of him? Because the man has a schedule ahead of him. Tell our listeners, you're going to compete in FLW, right?
Right.
And you're also going to compete in the Elite. Is that right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So
let's tell us how we're going to do this, man.
Man, we really don't know yet. We got 2 boats and 2 trucks, and I don't know. We're just going to take it one day at a time. So far, the first one we got 1 down, and
yes,
I think we have 16 more to go.
Yes, you do.
So,
yeah.
So I'm excited. A lot of places are some of the same lakes. We've been to quite a bit. So I'm just thrilled to be able to go and. FLW, MLF, and Bass Elites that are letting me, compete in both of them. So I'm thrilled. I'm just can't wait for the next one.
Well, it helps. You've won $1 million in your career. I don't know where it went to, but you probably don't either. But
every time I hear that, I try to figure out
fishing line. All fishing line.
Yeah. He's got 17 aluminum boats. That's what he does now. Right now.
Yeah, that's where it all went.
When it comes to this, I know that I think you said there was 4 other guys that were eligible to do this and didn't do it, but you're going to do it. You've looked at your schedule right now. A great start. Talk about Sam Rayburn and how things went down there, because that was a kind of a wonderful way to start the season. Even though I think you said first 2 days were good, then you kind of fluttered a little bit. But
right,
hey buddy, you ended up with over 65 pounds of fish and won by 2 pounds 7 ounces. Talk about how that helped you really boost you to kick off this next season here.
Geez, man, I'm telling you, just even when I first got there and how starting off the season, was dumping the boat in and finally got off the trailer and stuff and went to get in it and it wouldn't start.
Yes.
I realized had some squirrels get in my in the side of my boat.
The old squirrels in the boat there. Okay.
Yeah. So I missing the first day of practice and taping everything, all the wires back together. I was just like, oh, Jesus, not the way to start the season. I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna make it through. And practice was even tough too. Before the first day of the tournament, I was so just open to anything, trying to figure any kind of pattern out or anything. And then I stumbled across a magical spot around noontime and pulled out that Berkeley Fritz side and just went to catching them. So it was just it was so incredible.
And then did I hear that you didn't even own a crankbait rod until this year? This is crazy, man. Are we making this up?
No, I just never really throw crankbait much, and I feel like I lost when I was looking back, reflecting over last year. I feel like I lost the Grand Lake tournament because I didn't have the right cranking setup. I didn't really have that many crankbaits. And I think at Grand I finally pulled out a crankbait on the final day. And started throwing it around on my flipping stick. So it's just I lost some key fish. So I was like, I'm going to have it all set up, and I had a box with just Berkeley Fritz sides in it, and I was like, I'm gonna learn this bait, and then hopefully it'll come into play. And geez, starting off the season, his first tournament and catching them on it. It was just it was really eye-opening.
$100,000 helps. I know that, but all your friends show up after that. I know that too.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm still waiting on my check up here, John. So don't worry, don't worry about it. But again, we're talking to John Cox, a professional angler, been on Outdoors with Larry Ray before. He's a Berkeley pro and coming off a big win at Sam Raymer. I mean, this season is going to be a special time with you. And I think back and I looked up some things. The Tin Man. I mean, your mom, Marie, getting you that first boat when you were 14. How old are you now? How old are you?
I am 34.
Oh, you're so old. Yeah, you're so old.
I know, I feel so old.
20 years ago, this all happened. So
right.
So talk about the way that life has come for you and the dream that you. I know you're living the dream. So talk about the life. A lot of people say, well, all these out there just fishing and things. There's a lot involved in this, as far as physical abilities, mental abilities, being able to handle yourself, and also being able to handle the highs and the lows.
Right.
So talk about that.
100%. Actually going, the first tournament this season, on day 2, I was so exhausted, because it's just the start of the season, and I was like, "Geez, how am I gonna fish 4 events in a row like this?" And then going into the last 2 days, you just kind of get in the zone, and it is so mentally draining and exhausting, and luckily, I just feel like when I'm doing all these tournaments, I just kind of get in a groove and just kind of just like you get up and you go to work and you go do your job and. I don't believe it when I wake up in the morning. I'm actually getting, I'm like, I'm going fishing again. This is great. So, but I love it, and man, it's just, it's awesome that I'm able to now, I've been with Crestliner for I think 9 years now.
9 years,
and, man, and I'm telling you, it just takes me back to when I grew up fishing, on an aluminum boat, and man, I love it. I was fortunate enough to. Looked at the weather before I went to the Rayburn, so I brought the 1850 Bass Hawk, which is kind of like a walleye deep V, but with a bass layout in it. Yes, but it came into play huge at Rayburn because the wind blew right down the middle of the lake, and there was 5 and 6 footers. And it was it was just boy, I was just so everybody was getting beat to death, and I just cruised right down the middle of the lake in that boat. So it was just. It was a really special week.
Well, it ties you with David Dudley at number 6 all time with 5 career wins. I can relate to you. My good friend Mark Rose started in an aluminum boat. I was there when it was in his first tournament, won $20,000 in an aluminum boat, and everybody was laughing at him and thinking. I don't think nobody's laughing at you now, John. I mean, they're after you now, buddy. I mean, you've got the target on the back, and I know you talked about Berkeley. I mean, that relationship with them. Talk about that.
Oh man, I mean they, I've been with them a couple years. In past years, I wasn't a huge Berkeley guy.
I know it.
And they really came along. They're really taking a lot of, our input on baits and stuff. And I mean, right now we have every bait you need. You can have an entire tackle box with just Berkeley products in it and have everything you possibly need. And that's just awesome. That's when I decided to, really, go ahead and start working for them. It was because they had such a variety. There was all these new baits, and I was super excited to start testing a lot of them. And learning them, and that's been my thing. Like in all the downtime, or not much downtime, but my downtime.
You ain't got no downtime, buddy.
I know. I was thinking about it. I was like, when I got about 2 hours in between, and I get to stop on the side of the road and fish a pond. I like to try a lot of the new stuff. And I mean, that was the same thing with that. That Fritz side, I picked it up. 2 weeks before I fished it. While they were wrapping my boat with my boss, and
come on, 2 weeks.
We hammered them on it.
2 weeks before.
Yeah. So it was, it was just, it's exciting.
Well, I tell you, when I've told everybody, if I wasn't doing what I was doing now, I would like to be the person that names and baits and their colors, because that new Berkeley Fritz Side 5 crankbait is the Lone Ranger and Ghost Morning Dawn colored.
Yeah, those were the two colors, man. And
bass baits and bird dogs have some of the strangest
they
names.
Do. Yeah, they do.
Right,
and John probably knows their call names for them too. That when they work, you call them one thing, but when they don't work, you call them another thing. It gets down to it, but. Hey, man, we appreciate you. I know this is a busy time for you. I appreciate our good friend Joel Pogger. Thank you for being on Outdoors with Larry Ray. Buddy, we're going to catch up with you down the road when you take a breath. We'll try to check back with you and everything. You got a lot of fans up here in the Memphis, Tennessee area simply because I think you've got one of those don't give up attitudes, and that, and that's important, right? I mean, because it allows you to go. I got to say this, folks. Listen to this. This is what I read. Even if he cuts a bunch of those checks, Cox might still barely break even. He laughs. He laughs at the thought, which he just did. Thank you. That was a real setup there. Quote: I figure I'm going to have to invest staying in crappy hotels and eating Taco Bell.
Hey.
And I mean, it's the truth. I mean, even when you say, when you think about it, like, man, he's won $1 million fishing. I mean, and it's it's a lot of money, but gosh, it is expensive to travel and everything. And I'm so thankful for the sponsors I have because I mean, without them, it would all go back.
It would.
Into fishing, and it would, I'd have to probably move back in with my parents or something.
Well, I don't think that's going to happen because they told me they didn't want you back. So no. Hey, John, thank you, buddy, for being on Outdoors with Larry Ray. I don't believe in luck, so just continue that success that you got going and break some records this year, okay?
All right, thank you. Thanks for having me on, guys.
All right, but have a good one. All right.
That's what a lot of people forget. The pros out there. You win tournaments and stuff.
Yeah.
But at the end, you still get that $10.99 at the end of the year.
It's gonna cost him this year to fish $136,000. He will invest in fishing for bass.
Yeah.
Now that's comes a long way. When you think about it, all the success and things along that line. But anyway, John Cox. Man, I can't believe I got him on in 3 days because he's the only man fishing both circuits. I don't know how he's going to do it. He's getting ready to fish in Florida down there where he's from. But did he say it was a cool 65?
Yeah,
cool
what he
65.
said. Cool 65.
Wow.
Okay. The snowbirds down there, they ain't even broke out long pants. They still in shorts.
They had a freeze warning here a while back.
We got snowbirds here. I mean,
I feed them every day.
You feed them, don't you?
The little juncos jumping around on the ground.
They do. All right. We got to get a break. Finally going to get John Davis in. He's been listening in on this. And then right after that, we're going to talk wild game dinners. Y'all ready over there? Y'all got food at Germantown Baptist? Will you have food? Shake your head.
They have food.
Yeah, okay. I'm waiting on McSwain to wake up back over there.
Yeah.
He's trying to sleep over there. Well, we
got him up too early.
We got him up too early. Well, we'll put him down on that for sure. All right, let's take a break. You ready, John Davis?
Yes, sir, I am.
Get ready. All right, we're going to talk ducks and everything else on Outdoors with Larry Ray. Be right back.